In our panel for more on this bombshell, Fox News foreign political analyst Kiron Skinner, a Carnegie Mellon University international relations professor, and Fort O'Connell, the CivicForumPAC chairman and political analyst. Kiron, I want to start with you. Greg just mentioned the Uranium One deal, revelations with this particular deal. Feels like the media has been deflecting successfully, by the way, for a long time. We knew there was smoke, but the fire is a whole different story. How deep does this go?
I think it's incredibly deep, and I think were it not on the dossier, the Russian dossier issue, for the dogged determination of Congressman Devin Nunes, we may not be as far as we are right now. And the fact that Speaker Ryan has decided to join him in requesting that the subpoena be honored by the FBI, which this has been months and months ago, that the Congress has been trying to understand what the FBI has and what it has done. The fact that we have an intelligence community now that's not responsive to Congress, which has Article 1 under the Constitution authority to oversee what's going on in the executive branch, it just means that, you know, the more smoke we find, the more fire may in fact be there. It's just a stunning set of revelations in the last day or so.
Charles, I think we got to stop calling this a Russian dossier. It's a political hit job on Donald Trump. And I think what's incredible here is that after sanctimoniously lying for over a year and calling the Trump campaign's actions treasonous, lo and behold, we find Hillary Clinton and the DNC were behind that. And I think Greg's absolutely right about the point that essentially, how did this thing make its way into the bloodstream of U.S. intelligence, particularly the FBI, and how it could have led to a FISA warrant? That should concern everyone, Republican or Democrat, because America's security and the independence of the FBI is in jeopardy.
Greg, so there are legal and ethical issues here, and it can evolve. The fact that Paul Ryan has now lent the muscle of his position behind this, you know, we know that Congress has really kind of over the last few years ceded all of their powers. You know, and can this be where they finally take a stand and get something done on behalf of the American public?
You know, it means a lot when the Speaker of the House says, respond to this subpoena or else, because he can cobble together the leadership to go after the FBI for refusing to comply with a lawful subpoena. So, you know, that subpoena was issued in August, and they haven't responded to it yet. You know, I'd go to a federal judge, get Congress to move for contempt, and go to a federal judge and enforce it.
You know, Kiron, what's interesting is that the media spent so much time on Donald Trump Jr. in the midst of a campaign. Someone says, hey, we've got some opposition research on Hillary Clinton. He has a meeting with this woman. Nothing happens. He walks away. And that's the story, right? And somehow, you know, that was an incidental meeting or whatever. But this is something that's planned. This was a planned operation. And it involved a foreign country that has no one's best interest at heart. How seriously do you think, ultimately, will we get answers, I think, is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I think it's extremely serious because when you think about it, the British spy that was hired through Fusion GPS on behalf of Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, if in fact he was interacting closely with Russian intelligence as assets for his so-called dossier, that puts the Clinton campaign and the DNC in the position of actually working with the Russian government.
But I think to Charles's point, it's a lot more than that. Basically, the media is doing damage control right now. That's why the Washington Post is coming out with this story. And essentially, I believe that this story vindicates Donald Trump Jr.'s email. Look, I've done a lot of campaigns. I'm not against opposition research. I know what it's like in the trenches. But I will say the fact that the Clinton campaign has been sanctimoniously lying about this and the media has been covering up is absolutely ridiculous because, Charles, we all know what the power of the media is, and that's to not shine a light on something. And the media should feel in shame here for pointing the finger at Donald Trump when, in fact, it was Hillary Clinton who they were protecting.
That light has been redirected, and hopefully it'll be sunlight. We can get some answers and disinfectant out there. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.